All right, hello and welcome everyone to the first game of Goon Squad versus Missing Ping Mafia. We have more Surge action for you here tonight, starting off at 8 o'clock. And there will be a second game, either on this channel or on the second channel, coming up very shortly afterwards at 10 Eastern. But for now, let's hop into picks and bans as Goon Squad, starting off on the blue side, will elect to start off with a Darius ban. Missing Ping Mafia going to start off with a Nocturne ban. So a little bit of jungle focus from both of these teams, but also top lane focus, as Low Life Feels does play some Darius. So a bit of a flex pick in that particular case. That being said, a decent amount of jungle focus still coming out as Goon Squad elects to hover the Rengar for their second ban. Now, Rengar not a champion that we see very often in competitive play. Definitely very counterable, but still a good champion to ban nonetheless, and Goon Squad does like to do it. For Missing Ping Mafia, their second ban will be the Jinx, so targeting out that ADC role. We know that Tyler is a very strong ADC player, and definitely good to get that out of the way. Lissandra going to be the final ban of this first round for Goon Squad. Let's see what Missing Ping Mafia answer back with. So a little bit of kind of spread focus towards the top side of the map. Of course, we're including jungle in that top side, but not nearly caring as much about the bot lane from the side of Goon Squad. Tyler and Flame Dude believing that they can win this particular matchup without needing any particular bans. More jungle focus coming out from the side of Missing Ping Mafia, though, as Graves will follow shortly after Nocturne. And definitely interesting to see the lack of respect towards the bot side from Missing Ping Mafia. Of course, the Jinx being banned, but nothing else, including the Smolder that will get picked up first pick for the side of Goon Squad. Goonmaster definitely showed his prowess on that champion before, and we will get to see it again here shortly. Missing Ping Mafia, let's see what they elect to pick up for this bottom side. Shen going to be their first pickup, and that could be a flex, a three-way flex. Shen being popular in the top lane, jungle, and support roles. Of course, most commonly seen, at least in our league, in that top lane matchup. But Missing Ping Mafia have elected to take something that's very, very safe. So we'll see if they want to pair it with a strong laner, and it will be the Ashe. Ashe Shen, not a super great combo, and definitely not something that's very commonly seen. But I will be interested to see how this particular match plays out. And if it is the Shen support, where that's going to end up going. Of course, Smolder could be going in the mid lane as well. Kayn hovered now for the side of Goon Squad, and Kayn would be very good into Shen. Definitely able to bully early, get a lot of those stacks off, and it has been locked in. So we'll have to see what Killer Watermelon decides to go for this particular Kayn play, whether he goes blue Kayn or red Kayn. Currently, I would like to see him go red Kayn, a little more survivability. I honestly think that blue Kayn is not really good unless they have the opposing team has multiple squishies that you can easily one-shot. And even then, it's still kind of you really want not a whole lot of CC. So I'd really like to see a red Kayn come out for the side of the Goon Squad. They will lock in their support, however, and it will be a Taric. Taric, a notoriously difficult champion to pilot. Definitely have to play in sync with your team. But Goonmaster and Flame Dude have shown a decent amount of synergy in that bottom lane. So I don't think there will be too much of an issue down there. Warwick now being hovered for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. And that would take away one of those flex spots for the Shen. Still top or support. However, jungle no longer an option. Well, still could be an option. Warwick can go top, although far less common these days than it was in seasons past. So we'll have to see what the rest of the draft holds for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. They have a lot of flexibility on their roster. Goon Squad, not so much. It's pretty clear where all of their teams want to go, or where all of their champions want to go for this team. And Bessa, though, going to be the first ban for the side of Missing Ping Mafia in this second round, and they really want, if they are going to send that Shen top lane, they really need to secure a really safe easy bully matchup for that Shen. So if Ashe or the mid laner get into trouble, it is quite easy to back up, press R, and not lose a whole lot in the lane. Goon Squad, though, not necessarily a support ban. Could be a mid lane ban, but definitely don't want to see the Shen in support, and I think that that is a good option to ban away. Ashe having a lot of poke, Brand only making that a whole lot worse. And Vladimir going to be the final ban for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. A little bit of focus towards both mid lane and top lane here, as mid lane has not necessarily been shown. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Smolder can be picked towards that top side. Swain, though, going to be the final ban here for Goon Squad and for this particular match. We'll see what Missing Ping Mafia choose to show here, whether they will blind pick their mid lane or sort of show where that top lane is going, or where that Shen is going, whether it's going top lane or support. The ooh, okay, interesting. So electing to kind of keep some of that flexibility up in the Lux hover. Lux obviously can go support or mid lane, and Lux Ashe definitely a very good combination. But Lux mid lane, very, very safe. Able to just kind of farm those waves out. Not really needing to do a whole lot. So we'll see what Goon Squad answers back with. And this is kind of the mind games that you really need to play if you are drafting on red side. You really want as much flexibility as you can possibly get out of this draft, because with that final pick, you are able to show what the rest of... You're basically able to hide what part or all of your team comp wants to do until that final pick. So you really have the advantage. But it will be the Ornn top lane for the side of Goon Squad. A fine matchup into Shen. Ornn just kind of wants to sit back, farm, get his levels, and then start handing out items. Yasuo, though, going to be the pickup for mid lane, and a very aggressive mid laner at that. Cho'Gath covered here for Missing Ping Mafia, which would indicate that Shen will be sent support. Not really popular in the mid lane. Warwick going jungle. Oh, the switch up into the Urgot, and Polaris will definitely be pleased at that one. All right, welcome back for game number 1 of Goon Squad versus Missing Ping Mafia. This game promises to be bloody, and already we're seeing a little bit of early action here as Missing Ping Mafia is walking in to get some information on this Kayn start. They know he should start Raptors. That's a pretty common start for pretty much every Kayn in the game. It has been for quite a while. But they just want to make sure. And I don't blame them. Many waves have crashed at this point, though, so we will see the start. And mid lane is going to be definitely a little bit interesting. And for anyone who has noticed, Car Cancer does not appear in this game. It might be because his main account was banned and he is currently on an alt. A little bit of toxicity coming out to start out this match, but it's a very good trading here on this bottom side. EDD and Torres are fighting together very well. Do force the early barrier out of Gunmaster, and that is definitely something that Smolder wants to hang on to if possible. EDD has a lot of CC, and the poke coming out from the Ashe, as we can already see, is absolutely insane. So definitely going to be a little sad not to have that summoner spell. They do manage to get level 2 first, which is definitely very interesting. But this wave should push back towards Torres and EDD, and that is going to make things very difficult for Goonmaster and Flame Dude on this bottom side. They're not going to be able to get access to a whole lot of this wave at all. On the top side, though, Lowlife Fields and Francis battling it out. A very good buffer from the side of the Ornn, able to escape that knock back or knock over. Ooh, and a Walladola here with Jay making some very aggressive moves onto Killer Watermelon. They will secure first blood at his own blue buff, and that has got to feel absolutely awful. Torres now, though, in a bit of an awkward spot, trying to dodge the abilities coming out from Flame Dude. Does manage to get away successfully, and it will be no summoners used. But Flame Dude is forced to use the heal. Walladola now, though, in a bit of trouble here against the Yasuo. Oh, but oh my goodness, Low Life Feels is taking so much damage. The flashes come out, and it is just not enough from the Ornn. He will go down, but in the mid lane, a trade of mid laners. And now Killer Watermelon is down here to make a move onto Torres, left all by himself as his Shin walks up the river. It's a lot of trading back and forth. Walladola will have the advantage on that Lux in the mid lane of Flash. There's no summoners currently available for the Yasuo. But realistically, he doesn't really need them. As long as there's a minion wave there, he's pretty happy to do whatever he wants. Smolder, first recall, unfortunately only 2 longswords, and he isn't down that much in farm despite the amount of poke coming out from the side of Missing Ping Mafia. Which either means that Ash is really bad at farming, or Tyler is really good at collecting the farm. And now, Ornn gonna have a similar problem as his bot lane. The wave is pushing away from him, and that's gonna make things very difficult. Ooh, a nice stun coming out from Flame Dude. Manages to catch both EDD and Torres. EDD taking a lot of damage. Walladola with a little bit of fancy feet, though, is gonna do a lot of damage to this Yasuo. We'll take some in return, but definitely making things difficult in this mid lane matchup. Is EDD down a little bit of experience? The Torres, of course, will be a little bit... Oh, just missing from EDD on that Shen. That taunt would have been really bad for Goon Master had he been caught. Support was walking away to ward. And Francis now a whole level up, does hit that level 6 on the Urgot. Going to make things very difficult for this Ornn. Ornn really just needs to kind of sit back and not do anything. It's all on Francis to make things happen, but he has been doing a good job of making it happen. And now 4 members here for Missing Ping Mafia on this first Drake. A very early Cloud Soul helping the jungler take that objective. He will secure it. And Kane gonna look to invade on this top side. Jay, though, not really wanting that to happen. Knows that his enemy Raptors are down, but does not know his Krugs are up. Oh, currently Gooning here in a really rough position. Will get found out by Jay and just goes down. No opportunities for outplay from the Yasuo there, and that is going to be very frustrating from Goon Squad's mid laner. A lot of early pressure from this Warwick coming out in the mid lane, and that is going to make things very nice for the side of the Lux. Killer Watermelon here, though, on the top side, and Ornn will call the Forge God. Ooh, but good cancel from Francis. Low life getting very low here, and Killer Watermelon missing an essential spell means that Francis will get to walk out. Does not have the Ignite anymore. EDD, once again, a little short on that taunt. Means that Torres is going to take a lot of poke here, and Flame Dude also dealing a lot of damage to EDD in response. This mid lane is starting to become a little bit unbalanced for their side. And it is going to be a little bit of a source of frustration for them. Ooh, very good, though, from Low Life Feels. Oh, Francis just missing there. Is Jay paying some attention to this mid lane? But, of course, Killer Watermelon here to back up. Ooh, just missing the flash on Flame Dude. Does not quite get the stun onto either member. EDD very low, but will walk out. As now Jay down here to make some moves. Walladola here as well. Goonmaster having to flash away, and his support will pay the price. A 4-man gank or I guess a 4-man play on the bottom side here, does mean that one member from Goon Squad will go down. And thankfully not the ADC. Goonmaster will be able to collect the rest of that wave. But balancing out this bottom wave for the side of Missing Pink Mafia is Goonmaster will recall, likely has that Sheen up and available for purchase. And things will settle down a little bit. Francis not able to make nearly as many moves on this Ornn. Does have the early Thornmail item. And is going to make things a lot more difficult for Francis. But not impossible. Low Life Heals does use the Unstoppable. Francis not opting to take the early trade though, as this early push really good for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Jay now hovering around the mid lane, but they don't really seem to know that these grubs are being taken. And now Low Life is in a bit of a sticky spot. Does have to flash away. Killer Watermelon and Flame Dude rotating over to that side. Low Life calling the Forge God. Oh, good knockup. And Walladola very, very low at the beginning of this fight. Does not quite manage to get the ult off, but Francis does. And he will take Killer Watermelon to his grave. Currently gooning, having to run for his life. Flame Dude, the same thing, does not have that ultimate anymore. And Jay, a good flash over the tornado means that he will slay the Yasuo. And that is a very rough trade for the side of Goon Squad. 3 for 0, or 3 for 1, excuse me, in Missing Pink Mafia's favor. And they will be able to collect the other 2 grubs. First one had been collected by Goon Squad. But unfortunately, with that play that Francis made on the top side, oh no, Low Life teleporting up, just does not know that there are still 3 members up here. Does not have the flash, does not have the ultimate. He is going to be jumped on by all 3 of these people. And I'm sorry, buddy. You are done for. That's going to feel really bad. Speaking of feeling bad, though, Goonmaster not feeling really good in this particular lane matchup. Walladola has walked it down to help out his bot laner. The Mom comes out, but it's not really hitting anyone, as Walladola does manage to get the kill onto Flame Dude. Now Torres, in pursuit of Goonmaster on that Ashe, has managed to slow him down. Does force him away from that wave that was pushing into the turret and the next one. But man, a lot of summoners required on the bottom side. As once again, 4 men strong. Ooh, what a good Q from the side of Walladola. Killer Watermelon not even able to get anywhere close to this Drake. And now 4 people running down this Yasuo. Jay is very fast with that passive. Will be able to ultimate. EDD not even really needing to use the stun. He will steal the kill away from his jungler, though. And my goodness, this game is not looking good for Goon Squad. 11 minutes into the game and a 5.2k gold lead for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. 2 Drakes, 2 out of 3 grubs for them, and 12 kills to 3. For the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They are going to feel really good about this game. Now, the question is, how quickly can they close this game out? Because Low Life Heals is playing the Ornn. Goonmaster is playing the Smolder. These champs scale very well into the mid game, and especially the late game. And if they cannot close this game out, if the game gets to 25-30 minutes, it could be very rough from the side of Missing Pink Mafia. And we'll have to see how some of these fights play out. Killer Watermelon hovering this bottom side, trying to help his teammates get vision, but unfortunately Torres and EDD, quite a bit stronger, are able to just walk in afterwards and clear it out. And this game has been action-packed so far. Let's hope it continues that way. In the mid lane, though, Killer Watermelon is here, and Walladola will just now discover this fact. Jay is walking over, and Shen ultimate over the top of the Lux means that this will be a very tough team fight for the side of Goon Squad. Killer Watermelon and currently Gooning just running away. Do successfully manage to get out, but Walladola will take half their health on that Lux. Now EDD returns to this bottom side. And Walladola looking for Killer Watermelon now. Will find him. Will manage to land the Q. Oh, Jay, that is not the ultimate that you wanted, buddy. Doesn't really matter. It does mean that he will trade his mid laner's life. But that will feel really bad for the Kane, who just picked up his red buff and now is not allowed to have it. And a large portion of this gold lead in the jungle. Warwick 5-0-4 in comparison with 2-4-1 on this Kane. Jay is really strong right now and pretty much able to do whatever he wants. He's trying to run down currently Gooning. Oh, does get the ultimate off, and the Warwick passive not quite enough. Good return kill from the side of Carson on that Yasuo. We'll have to see what kind of momentum shift that can bring. That was a pretty large shutdown going onto the Yasuo, and that's going to make him a little bit more scary. Goon Squad, a possible opportunity back into this game. Yasuo's real objective here is to push the team into the late game, able to make it to where Ornn can start giving out items, and Goon Master can start dealing a lot of damage. Killer Watermelon now hovering around this top side here. Ooh, if Francis goes aggressive too early, does have to use the flash, but I don't think that's going to save him. Ornn collecting the shutdown onto that Urgot. Oh, Torres landing the arrow onto Goon Master though, and Mom coming out. The stun not landing from the side of Flame Dude, but the ultimate, of course, absolutely free. Goon Master though, very, very low, and Flame Dude is just going to abandon his ADC. A little bit of miscommunication there, I feel like. After the stun missed from the side of Flame Dude, Goon Master still there to stand and fight and pay for it with his life. 15 minutes into the game, though, the gold lead has reduced by a little bit with those two shutdowns collected. 4K, pretty much. Francis is going a little bit aggressive on this lane still. Ornn completing the Hollow Radiance as the third Drake will spawn. And Goon Squad have determined that they want to fight for this Drake. It will be a red Kayn finally coming out for the side of Goon Squad. Oh, the ultimate though onto the Kayn, and the Lux ult over the top means he is absolutely finished. Goon Squad scattering in all directions, unable to continue this fight. And that will be sole point for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. Torres, though, in a little bit of trouble. Goon Master dealing a lot of damage, but he can just retreat underneath his turret. The ultimate is available for the Taric, so they could look to dive with the low health bar of this Ashe, but of course Crystal Arrow also being available. The ultimate from EDD also off cooldown. The question is, how good does the dive go, and can they kill the Ashe off before that ultimate comes through? On this top side though, Francis really wants this turret, is trying to poke out the Ornn as much as possible. Oh no, a miss on the dodge forward. Oh, and on the bottom side, EDD able to collect Flame Dude, or excuse me, Goon Master. Flame Dude having to flash away, but Jay now in a bit of trouble. Is very low. His Killer Watermelon will flash forward and go for the kill. Does manage to knock up a Walladola as well. Currently Gooning not in position. And a good response kill from Waladola. As currently Gooning does have to run for his life, being chased down by 3 members of Missing Pink Mafia. They are more of a Goon squad in this case. The ultimate coming out from low life fields. Francis using the shield. Torres in a bit of trouble here. As Carson looking to go aggressive, but EDD will manage to land that taunt, and he will go down. Not able to get the knock up onto the Ashe. And the more I think about it, the red cane makes a little bit more sense. With that red cane, you do have the ability to knock up your opponents, giving 2 additional knockups to this Yasuo. 1 from the Ornn, and 1 now from the cane. Waladola here a little bit ahead of his team. Killer Watermelon looking for a potential play, but EDD and Torres still here to make sure no harm comes to their mid laner. And for the side of Goon Squad, this game is a scaling game. You need to slow down the pace. You need to not get picked. If you can find the picks, that's a little bit better, but really need to slow this game down. All 3 outer turrets, excuse me, 2 outer turrets down for the side of Goon Squad. That bottom turret, the only one remaining. And with Drake coming up in a minute and a half, Missing Pink Mafia may look to set that Rift Herald on the bottom side. Try and create some more pressure here. Jay now playing on Waladola. Currently Gooning going very aggressive. Ooh, the ultimate coming out. Multiple ultimates coming out from the side of Goon Squad. Carson absorbing a lot of pressure here. As Missing Pink Mafia will look to take this bottom turret. EDD now here down as well. And with those 2 grubs, even without a wave, they are able to finish off this turret. Goon Squad, though, going to look at this mid lane potentially. Oh, Torres, that is not good at all, buddy. You do not have R, but guess what? Shen does. Killer Watermelon does not want any of this, but he's not going to have a choice as he's taunted up by the Shen. Will choose to ultimate the Shen as well, which is a bit of an odd choice, but low life feels down here as well now. Jay coming down to help out his laner. Killer Watermelon trying to get out, but Jay just stronger in that matchup. And now Flame Dude is in trouble. Oh, the knockup from the Ornn and the instant ult from currently Gooning will be good. Oh, Francis trying to get the ultimate off. Oh, a Waladola Lux ult over the top, and that will be multiple people going down on both sides. A 3-for-3 trade. Not what you really want to see if you are the side of Missing Pink Mafia. That knockup from Low Life Fields was perfectly positioned. Does manage to collect multiple kills for that Yasuo. Nobody going to take this Drake just yet, but Goon Squad does need to get back out onto the map, play the pressure, and try to collect this Drake before the soul can go over to their opponents. Multiple members of Missing Pink Mafia here now, though, as they are picking their jungler. Low Life Fields is very, very low here. Oh, the ultimate from the Urgot just missing, but Flame Dude is also very low, and Goon Squad may just have to give this up. They have too many weak members to be able to fight for this Drake. Killer Watermelon is trying to steal, though. And it looks like Missing Pink Mafia know that he's there. EDD trying to sniff him out, trying to see if he can get a taunt off. Killer Watermelon makes the wise decision not to go over the wall. Goonmaster does collect the mid lane turret, but Jay is on his tail. Does Flash use the ultimate? The ult coming out from Lux as well. And oh my goodness, that is a dead dragon. Missing Pink Mafia now looking for the Baron. They want to be wearing purple. And this is really good from them. As I was mentioning earlier, they really need to push this advantage that they have. A 7.5k gold lead at this point. The more gold that they can spend, the faster that they can push this game to prevent the scaling laners from doing exactly what they want to do, the better chance they have of winning. And now that they are wearing purple, oh, that is... I thought that was a misclick for a moment there, but turns out they were going after the Yasuo. Not really where they wanted that crystal arrow to go, but it does have a pretty low cooldown, so not going to be too worried about that. But as I was saying, you really, really, really want to see this team push early, and they're doing the perfect job. The ultimates coming out in unison means that currently Gooning will go down on that Yasuo, not able to win wall any of those abilities, and he will sacrifice his life. Low life feels so. Level 15 is handing out his first item to Goonmaster. And I'm not entirely sure that that is the item that you want Ornn to upgrade. Essence Reaver, a good item, but surely you want something like Infinity Edge. But unfortunately, at this point in the game, they really need something to get them back on track, to be able to survive a little bit longer. Low Life Fields and Francis battling it out, but a good flip coming out from Francis means that Low Life Fields is very low here and does need to be very careful. That Urgot ultimate is available. Jay coming down to back up his laner, but currently Gooning down here to try and turn the fight. He will not be able to, as Shen also ulting over the top onto Francis. Now Killer Watermelon will walk down, is going to knock up two members, will get the kill onto Jay with that ultimate, but both Francis and EDD are very tanky. Low Life Fields just does not do enough damage. And Killer Watermelon will also go down. Goonmaster now in some trouble as the Q from behind will take him down. And it's just mistake after mistake coming out for the side of Goon Squad. They are not slowing this game down. They're trying to make some aggressive moves, trying to find picks. And while I do respect that, if you are playing a scaling team and you find yourselves behind, you have got to find ways to slow down the pace of the game. And that means not giving up kills. You need to be alive for the golden experience from these waves. Dying is the ultimate CC, and in a scaling team comp, that CC is particularly deadly. 26 minutes into the game, an 11k gold lead in the favor of MPM. They have taken down almost every outer turret on the map. One still remaining on that top side, but they have not particularly cared too much about this top side, so not too surprising there. They have cracked the base on the bottom side, but still have not taken an inhibitor just yet. Baron will be coming up in 3 minutes. Elder shortly before that. And if Missing Pink Mafia are able to take this Elder Drake, could spell disaster for the side of Goon Squad. No more Baron remaining on any of the members of Missing Pink Mafia. It has timed out at this point, and so Goon Squad are going to do their best to just clear out these waves. Ooh, a good flash away from Francis as multiple people up here on the top side trying to take him down. The rest of MPM will rotate over. But that is the Call of the Forge God gone for the side of Goon Squad. And I don't think that Carson is really able to fight this Urgot. Is able to clear the wave in time, though. And now Elder Drake being positioned for... Ooh. Some bush cheese coming out from the side of Missing Ping Mafia. 4 people here. And I don't think that Francis necessarily knows that's warded. He will know that it's warded now since the minion has... Oh, stop this recall, but oh no! Carson getting caught in... Oh, excuse me, Killer Watermelon. Getting caught in the mid lane there. Waladola not missing with these Qs is making life difficult for the side of Goon Squad. And now Flame Dude, the next person under attack. Goonmaster's still not at that 225 stacks yet. And at 28 minutes, that is not what you want to see from your Smolder. Missing Ping Mafia making a very good showing. Are looking to crack this mid turret. But with Elder spawning at this very moment, they are going to go ahead and retreat. Knowing that Killer Watermelon still has 5 seconds left, they need to rush this Drake down. But it looks like for the side of Goon Squad, they've just elected to give it up. Nobody's coming out here to contest, and that's probably a good thing given the amount of vision that MPM has on this side. But taking the Elder Drake basically guarantees the Baron coming up in 15 seconds. Goon Squad, though, trying to set up some vision on this top side, trying to give themselves the ability to get out and fight for this last objective, because if they do not, could be very bad. Oh, Torres! Oh, missing by just the hair of his chinny chin chin. Currently Gunning taking a lot of damage from that Lux ultimate. And Killer Watermelon is in a bit of a tough spot now. Does get caught by Jay in the ultimate, but will manage to get over the wall. Unfortunately, EDD is there on the other side, and that Shen does a lot of damage. Killer Watermelon going down just in front of the objective means that is a dead purple worm. It will go over to the side of Missing Ping Mafia. Absolutely nothing that the side of Goon Squad can do about it. And now with both neutral objectives, Missing Ping Mafia are going to run it down and try to end this game. 30 minutes. 13, almost 14k gold lead for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. This is a scary, scary team. They are going to quickly take this mid inhibitor turret. The mid lane inhibitor soon to follow. A good wind wall coming out from the side of Carson will prevent that Crystal Arrow from doing any damage. But now the defense really starts. Ooh, a good ultimate coming out from the side of the Ornn, but a lot of knockups coming out as well. Goon Squad trying to make their final stand here, and they're doing an okay job of it, but unfortunately slapping with the wall. It's Killer Watermelon will go down. Jay to go down as well. 4 people dead on the side of Goon Squad. 2 answered back for the side of Missing Ping Mafia, and Lowlife feels gonna have to defend all by himself, but not too much an Ornn can do. Missing Ping Mafia upsetting even my expectations there as they come out on top of this particular game whole, so that everybody can see what's being picked and banned. At least you can hear me describe it for you. You're not completely missing out. That being said, though, the Misfortune picked up for MPM. Still a very strong combo, and definitely one of the original combos that was used with the Seraphine. And a good pick away from the side of Goon Squad as well. Amumu and Misfortune very strong together. And so this is what we like to see from Missing Ping Mafia, taking away things that Goon Squad may want to take. Is Braum going to be the pickup? And I don't know if I like this here. Even if you know you're going to go Braum, I don't think you tip your hand quite this early. Amumu is definitely a strong pick, but I don't think he's usually first pick worthy unless you're looking to flex him. And if you just immediately pick up the Braum after, it kind of defeats the purpose of that flex pick. But we'll see what Goon Squad elect to pair it with if they decide to go for the... Ooh, yep, the Lucian comes out. And Braum will still be good, is able to throw up that shield against the Seraphine R, prevent it from going anywhere, throw it up against the Misfortune R. So still not a bad pick for the side of Goon Squad. I just wish that they would have held it a little bit longer, tried to mind game out their opponents a little bit better. But we'll see what the final pick for Missing Pink Mafia is for this first round, and then we will get right back into bans. Zach. Interesting. Zach going to be the ban or the pick for jungle for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. And this is definitely a champion that I like to see personally. Zach, very good at creating chaos in these team fights, is able to find those priority targets. Now, Lucian and Braum both have dashes, which makes Jarvan a very difficult pick. But this particular combination also does very well for the side of Missing Pink Mafia, and of course creates a lot of chaos in the mid lane and even the top lane at some of those later points in the laning phase. But for the side of Missing Pink Mafia, still not changing up the bans, will ban out the Ambessa. Goon Squad, though, making the first different ban of this second game, will ban out the Cho'Gath. Final ban coming out for the side of Missing Pink Mafia for the second game. We'll see where their focus is going to lie, and if they decide to focus on that mid lane for this final ban, it will still be the Vladimir. So all 5 bans remaining the same for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Goon Squad so far only changing it up by 1. We'll see if they make it a second. And already I really like both the team comps coming out from both teams. A lot of team fight coming out for both of them. So we'll have to see what they elect to carry on with. It will be the Brand as the final ban for the second game. So a little bit more mid lane focus coming out from both of these teams. And we'll see whether Missing Pink Mafia elect to blind their top or their mid here, which laner they choose counterpick for. And Zach and Seraphine also potentially able to, Anivia, another potential flex pick coming out, could be played in mid or top lane. Although I personally don't like Anivia top. I don't really think it does a whole lot. But maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe Missing Pink Mafia will show me something that I didn't know in this next game. We shall see, though. Silas picked up for the side of Goon Squad, and this is an interesting pick. It's essentially another ban for them, as Malphite now unable to be picked for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. I mean, it's not a strict ban, but it's not usually a good idea to pick Malphite into a Silas, especially into the team that Goon Squad has selected here. I do kind of like the Silas pickup. There are a couple of good ults for the Silas to steal. Anivia and Zach not so much, but Seraphine and Misfortune could definitely be very good. And Volibear going to be the final pickup for the side of Goon Squad. A lot of really interesting team fight coming out for this team. And with the Silas to steal away the Seraphine or Misfortune are, definitely could be very threatening from the Goon Squad. We'll see where Missing Pink Mafia ends up going with this final pick. Gnar picked up for the top lane here, and I kind of like that, actually. All right, welcome back to game number 2 of Missing Pink Mafia versus Goon Squad. A little bit of early action here coming out for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They really want to get an early advantage, and they are 5-man invading. This top side, Killer Watermelon, needs to run away, because if he gets caught by this squad, he is surely going to at least blow a flash. Nothing much coming out for the side, but good moves from the side of Goon Squad. They are walking up, and the bot lane for Missing Pink Mafia is a little split right now. If EDD walks too close, oh no! Is going to be jumped on by Flame Dude, and Goonmaster will flash away and will escape with his life, not giving up the first blood. But man, losing both summoners early is going to feel really bad for the spot lane side. Good moves from the side of Goon Squad to respond to that 5-man invade, as EDD and Torres can't really walk up to this wave right now, and did miss the first 3 minions. Not entirely sure how much the bot lane of Goon Squad did miss in terms of experience, but They are going to hit that level 2 faster, pretty much no matter what. Ooh, looks like they got almost all of it. And they're going to feel really good about this. They have quite a bit of early pressure on this bottom side. EDD going to take a lot of poke here. Torres trying to respond in kind. But the level 1 for this Missing Ping Mafia bot lane is going to feel a little bit bad. Now evening it up, but Torres in a bit of trouble here. Does get stunned up. Caught by Flame Dude. And will have to flash away. The flash in response from Goonmaster, though, means that he will lose his life. And Goonmaster does get his first blood. Flame Dude, though, going a little bit aggressive onto EDD here. Will give up a kill in response. And that is not what you want to see. Although support for ADC will feel better as Low Life Fields goes aggressive. Does blow both summoners. But Killer Watermelon once again dying, or potentially dying here, as Waladola and Jay invading at his other buff. Will get the flash and the ignite from Waladola. Oh my goodness. And no communication coming out for this Grand Squad team, just not protecting their jungler at all. Killer Watermelon has been trying to create pressure for his team, but has just got invaded multiple times. And if you are a Goon Squad, you cannot let this happen. You need to be communicating when the mid lane walks away, especially if you know this is going to happen. They did it in the last game, and allowing them to do it in this game is a little bit grief by the side of Goon Squad. Of course, on that bottom side, Flame Dude did go down, and Goonmaster did have to recall, being very, very low. So bot lane not really there to make the rotation, but mid lane absolutely should have at least called it out. And sure, losing your buff feels really bad, but dying feels even worse. Speaking of dying, though, EDD might be a little bit of trouble here. Goonmaster going aggressive. Oh, EDD walking back in. And Torres now in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness, kids. This is why you drink your pots. Getting away with a sliver of health on this bottom side. And not a lot of respect coming out for this bot lane. Torres and EDD playing this the same as an Ashe Seraphine lane. Not really using their CC to their advantage. But Killer Watermelon here looking for a bit of vengeance. Will pop the Anivia egg from Waladola. And they're going to have just an update. Oh! Almost getting the trade kill back onto Carson. Does not quite manage to do it. If he had that ignite, maybe it would be a different story. But unfortunately did not have any sums. And a very good look from Killer Watermelon. Playing this well despite the grief from his team. Low Life feels getting aggressive onto Francis, though. And a slight gold lead coming out for the side of Grandmaster and his team early in this game. About 1,000 gold up. Will feel a little bit better about how this game has started. But what we really need to see is the ability for this team to use that early aggression. Torres and EDD on the other side need to play a little more safe, a little more pokey, not get caught out by Flame Dude, who has not missed the Q that we've seen so far. Of course, Jay could come down and make this a whole other ball game. Waladola, though, getting level 6. Will be able to clear those minion waves out very quickly and very safely. Killer Watermelon sniffing around that mid lane for a potential kill. Not able to find anything. And for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. Oh, Killer Watermelon, though, looking to go aggro. Trying to steal away these chickens. Does manage to get the smite on the big one. Jay is not going to be happy about that, as Carson is here. to make things a little more interesting. Does have that level 6, but Jay and Walladola very, very strong. Jay has that passive, and it will now be popped. Walladola just really needs to survive. And, ooh, Carson going down. Just standing in that Anivia ultimate. Killer Watermelon now not long for this world either, as he is running for his life. 3 people collapsing onto him. And Francis will pick up the kill on to that Amumu. That invade not going the way that they were hoping. Looking a little bit rough on this top side for Goon Squad. They're really going to have to rely on Goon Master this game. But we'll see if Walladola can roam down and make some magic happen. Flame Dude and Goon Master now both level 6, a level ahead still of their lane opponents. Jay getting a little bit of vengeance for the loss of his chickens. As now EDD and Torres will be level 6. Oh, the ultimate coming out from both of these bot laners. Although Flame Dude making this very difficult. Torres does manage to take down Flame Dude. But Goon Master is doing a lot of damage. And a flash away from the side of the Lucian. A response flash from Torres. Oh, a trade! A trade of ADCs. Killer Watermelon almost there to make the difference. And I really just think Goon Master should have walked away and let his jungler collect that kill. A little bit of greed coming out from both of these ADCs here. As Jay spotting his opponent on the bottom side of, on the bottom side of the map, will elect to go for those grubs. Killer Watermelon now sitting here waiting to see if Walladola will walk into. Oh, he gets discovered. Will pop the ultimate, and Torres is in the area, but EDD does not have a lot of damage, and Walladola does not have a lot of mana. Does not matter though. Flame Dude trying to protect his jungler. But Anivia will collect that kill. And now Jay will be very happy to try and take this Drake. Looks like he's not electing to take it just yet. The bot lane does need to recall. Lowlife feels forcing the flash out of Francis. Is going to try and chase down this Gnar. Does not have the Gnar bar anymore. Is exhausted. Does not have a flash. Does not have a jump. And now does not have a life. Lowlife feels doing very well in this top lane matchup. 2-0 on that Gnar is going to feel very strong. The only problem he has right now is that he has not been farming as well as his lane opponent. And so even though he does have a decent chunk of gold from those kills, will have a similar amount of gold as his lane opponent due to those kills and the farm difference. As Missing Pink Mafia trying to set up for the Drake here. All ultimates available for both bot laners. Jungle having ultimate as well. Jay, though, currently on the top side. Killer Watermelon down here on the bottom side. And oh no, Flame Dude not there to protect his ADC. EDD walking away from Torres, who does fall. Did get stunned up by the Braum passive. And that ultimate not going to have the effect that they wanted. A very good gank from the side of Killer Watermelon. Nets them their first neutral objective. And their first dragon in this game, actually. But Jay and Walladola want to make this a little bit less. Oh! Killer Watermelon winning out on the smite fight, but now needs to win the battle as well, as Goon Master has to run for his life. Flame Dude, not so lucky, will die to Jay using the ultimate, and a double kill coming out for the Anivia. This mid lane this mid lane jungle duo looking much stronger for the side of Missing Ping Mafia. As both of them will regain their passives now, and it makes people who are already obviously very difficult to kill even more difficult. Waladola is opting for that scaling build, and given the amount of gold that he has right now, 30 CS up over his laner and 5 kills to his name, he's going to be very, very happy with how quickly he can scale. And that's going to make the rest of this game really difficult to play. Goon Master going to have to be very careful about that Storm. Is not going to be able to stand wherever he pleases. And we'll need to be very careful about how he plays out these team fights. Anivia very good at creating a lot of space for both of these teams. Low Life Heal is going to need to be a bit more tanky. As Francis does miss the boomerang on its way back. Not too terrible, but will be a little bit difficult. Oh, Flame Dude going aggressive. Torres trying to go for some fancy feet. Will get stunned up underneath the turret though, and will lose his life. Just not respecting how strong that Lucian Braum duo is. Not quite as strong as Lucian Nami, which is definitely a favorite for many teams. But the lack of respect coming out for this bottom side is EDD might be in some trouble here. Does manage to stun up Goon Master, but there are 3 people looking at this bottom lane, and EDD will lose his life. Awaladola now in a bit of trouble, but Jay is here to back him up. The ultimate coming out from the Amumu, and also from the Misfortune, Resurrection coming out for both the jungler and the mid laner. Goon Master doing his absolute best, but the ultimate trade for Carson means that Torres is in a really rough spot. Does manage to pick up the kill onto Goon Master. A triple kill for the Misfortune. That's going to feel really good for Torres. Carson, though, does manage to get the response kill. And a lot of back and forth for both of these teams. No side getting a clear advantage. A 1k gold lead for the side of Goon Squad, but realistically, that's not a whole lot. Good ultimate coming out from Francis. Pushes Low Life Heals underneath the turret. He's going to take so much damage from that. Has to use the ultimate himself to survive. And Nara just not having the damage quite yet. Oh, a good catch, though, onto Flame Dude from EDD. Does do a decent amount of damage, but Goon Master is now here. Jay and Waladola, though, looking for low life feels on this top side. Jay going in underneath the turret, and no ultimate available for that Volibear means that he will die. Waladola, great follow-up CC. Using that Anivia to great effect. A lot of pressure coming down on this bottom side, though, as Killer Watermelon trying to steal away the blue buff from his lane opponent. Jay, in the meantime, will go for that Rift Herald, and Killer Watermelon, and currently Gooning, now looking at this bottom side, trying to make a 3-man dive happen. And if Silas steals that Seraphine ultimate, which he does do, oh no, he absolutely misses everything, but it just does not matter. 4 people down here, and good juggling of turret aggro means the bot lane of Missing Ping Mafia just going to go down. And we do know what Tyler can do with a strong early lead. Oh, just barely missing out. Carson will collect the first turret gold on that bottom side. Waladola, though, getting a lot of gold back for himself. And I really want to see how the lead that Waladola has compares to the lead that Tyler has. Low Life Heals, though, doing a lot of damage to Jay here. Forces out the ultimate from Jay. Waladola now catching out Flame Dude. And Flame Dude has to be really careful. Francis is down here. Make some stuff happen, but ooh, he goes a little bit too far. EDD now in a bit of trouble because Goon Master looking for the kill. Not able to secure it, though. Killer Watermelon does get the kill onto Jay. But low life feels the next target does have to use that Volibear ultimate to get away. Walladola flashing forward for Flame Dude. Oh, traps himself and his teammate behind that wall. Torres getting run down by Carson. And once again, trading back and forth all over the map here. But Walladola getting very, very scary and not managing to get that Braum passive onto the Anivia means a very rough time. Francis now sniffing out this Drake. Lilai feels trying to start this one up for his jungler. As we see all 5 members of both teams collapsing on this Drake. I think we're going to get another bloodbath here as Walladola stunned up early. Lowlife feels, though, getting jumped on by 4 members, and he's going to be really careful. This Volibear is not that tanky. He will be slowed up, and he will fall. And Goon Squad is going to have to be very careful about how they play this fight. EDD still has ultimate and could make this very awkward. They're fighting in a choke point. They really need the Braum to use the wall first, but Braum is going to go down, and that means that Walladola able to create a lot of space here. Jay going forward. Will get jumped on by Carson. Carson trying to go very aggressive, but doesn't know that the rest of Missing Ping Mafia are coming up to support their jungler. Just a little bit further behind. And a 1 for 0 for the side of Missing Ping Mafia means they will be able to secure this Drake. EDD not even needing the ultimate there. Could potentially have picked up a couple more kills. But if you're Goon Squad, you really do not want to be fighting in these choke points. They can be good for the Amumu, but they are far better for Torres and EDD. Having so much AoE. And of course the Anivia over the top makes that even more toxic to stand in. And if you're Charmed coming towards EDD, you're not going to have a choice about where you stand. Goon Squad need to be very careful about where they fight next time. Walladola, though, taking a lot of damage from Low Life Feels, does have to use the wall to keep Low Life Feels away. Ooh, does do a lot of damage to him now. Low Life having to use the ultimate does pop the Archangels, but still loses his life as he goes back underneath the turret. Takes too many turtle shots. Killer Watermelon, though, up here trying to get the kill onto Walladola. Will pop the passive. Braum also up here makes this a very awkward fight, but Walladola will get the respawn. Does not have the fancy feet, though, and will go down in the 2v1. Goes down to Flame Dude, though, and unfortunately that gold on the support is just not what you want to see. Carson trying to get aggressive here on to Francis. Does have that Gnar ultimate. Gnar does need to be really careful. Currently, Gooning does have a lot of sustain. And when you are exhausted, there's not nearly as much you can do. You still have some mobility and a decent amount of damage. But Silas does very much like trading health for CS. And 20 minutes. Dead even game. About half a K gold lead in the favor of MPM now. But 19 kills to 18 kills. 1 Drake to 1 Drake. One less plate for the side of Goon Squad. This game has been very back and forth, with neither team really taking the breakout advantage. So we're going to have to see a very strong team fight around one of these neutral objectives, or we're going to have to see a Walladola get picked off, as multiple members are up here on the side of Goon Squad. And oh, I don't think that's really where you wanted to stand. 4 people here teaming up on the Anivia. She's just a bird. Leave her alone. But with the Anivia dead, most of the gold is off for the side of MPM. Oh, a good find for Killer Watermelon. Does not use the ultimate, though. Does not really matter as EDD throws out the ult and just goes down. And Jay, not a whole lot of damage either. Torres still a little bit behind. Francis on this bottom side trying to get this Drake or this turret. And Goon Squad is going to elect to go for the Baron. Jay, though, not going to let this one go down without a fight. Very good at stealing these away on this champion. but it doesn't look like they want to give him the opportunity. Oh, a good stun for the side of Killer Watermelon. That passive will be popped for the Zac. And in the meantime, the Drake will go down. Goon Master finishing off that kill. And a little too aggressive from the side of Missing Pink Mafia. This game not looking good. Is Awaladola having to flash away. Killer Watermelon going to be trapped, but will manage to walk around. Does elect to use that ultimate EDD. Going to be the next one to fall. And this is starting to swing back in Goon's squad's favor. Doing a good job of controlling some of these team fights, managing to pick off specific members, and now Torres may get picked off as well. Does have to flash away from Killer Watermelon. This game, very back and forth from both teams. And Awaladola really giving up a lot of the advantage that he had built early. Not what you want to see, especially on Anivia. Has some of that scaling, but not quite finished yet. Low life, though, starting here to chase down Francis, trying to go for that Scuttle Crab. But the rest of the team is here to back him up. Carson with that Gnar ultimate, not what you want to see. Could make this team fight a little bit difficult, but Awaladola and Jay, no passives just yet. They are stacked up all together into an Amumu, and that is also not what you want to see. Ooh, the bandit toss just missing. Flame Dude, though, starting to take a decent amount of chunk as Jay gets jumped on. The ultimate coming out for the side of EDD. Gnar not able to transform. And Missing Pink Mafia are going to have to just run for the hills here. Torres, just not enough damage. Awaladola getting one back for the side of Missing Pink Mafia, but a 3-for-1 is not what you want. Goon Squad managing to pick up that next Drake. We'll see how much damage they can do to these turrets with this Baron. Awaladola and EDD about to get spotted out, but does manage to get the stun off. Oh, the ultimate coming out from the bear. He will be able to run away successfully, and the rest of his team just doing as much damage as they can to this mid lane. We'll see if Jay can get this jump. Oh, Goonmaster, a good dodge coming out from him. The Amumu also getting the ultimate off, and just not enough CC coming out for the side of MPM. Killer Watermelon now in a bit of trouble as Goonmaster trying to finish off the Anivia. Does manage to do it. Trades his life, but does give the shutdown over to the Misfortune. Killer Watermelon killing off EDD by himself. But this is a really tough position for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Only Francis left to clean these waves, and Gnar does not have a lot of good wave clear. Does, however, look like there are no members left with the Baron, so these turrets will not go down nearly as quickly. But we're starting to see this breakout moment. Goon Squad really finding these good fights, not fighting in the choke, and Missing Pink Mafia clumping up for them, making it a lot easier for some of these team fights to go their way. Killer Watermelon able to find multi-man ults. And Jay just not very tanky. Does have 2 items, but is getting focused down. Not really a whole lot of magic damage on the side of this Goon Squad team, so I really question the early Spirit Visage build. I know that it is a good item on Zac, but I really think you need some armor. You need to be able to survive in these fights. Killer Watermelon just living for longer, and it's making these team fights really, really difficult for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. If their jungler cannot survive and is just eating up, he is eating up a lot of CC, which is good, but he's just not able to live for as long as they need him to. And I will be very curious to see what Jay elects to build next. Baron up in minute 30, next Drake in minute after that. And so far, Goon Squad have not managed to crack the base yet. They have done some damage to these inhibitor turrets and have managed to claim all but one of the outer turrets. But a lot of mobility on the side of Goon Squad does make things very difficult for Jay. Not able to get those multi-man hits. Oh, as Walladola gets found by Killer Watermelon. The rest of the team is a little bit separated. But Goonmaster doing a lot of damage here. Does manage to dodge this Hairfiend ultimate. And they kill off of Walladola. Currently Gooning taking EDD's ultimate as well. But a good ultimate coming out in response from Torres. But he cannot stand there. There's no tanks to stand behind. And that may just be the game. Francis and Torres, not enough damage, not enough wave clear against 5 members of Goon Squad. Torres now taking a lot of damage from Goonmaster, will lose his life, stepped too close to the Lucian. And this one looking pretty much over. But if Francis can hold it for 10 seconds, it may not be as bad. As Goon Squad kind of trolling themselves here, electing to go for this bottom inhibitor instead of attempting to finish the game. I really think if they had hit those Nexus turrets, they might have been able to. But a little bit of split focus from this team means that they will have to reset and look for that big purple worm, their second of the game. Oh, Walladola, though, finding Killer Watermelon, does manage to stun him up. Killer Watermelon is going to try to bandage toss onto a Walladola to stop that ultimate. Didn't know that the frog was there. He could have escaped if he had known about the Grump. Did not manage to find it. Now will go down. The rest of Goon Squad still headed out towards this Baron. Walladola really low and still pushing this bottom side. Does not have teleports. That is going to make things difficult. But the next Drake coming up in 12 seconds. And Goon Squad elects to 4-man start. The Baron will trade it for that objective. And that will even both teams up on Drakes. And I don't necessarily know if I agree with this move. Goon Squad does not push in faster than the side of Missing Ping Mafia. Missing Ping Mafia does have a decent amount of wave clear in that Anivia, who does do a lot of damage. And there's not really a whole lot of extra gold that Goon Squad can collect with this Baron. Personally, I would have opted for the other way around. I think that putting yourself on Soul Point a lot scarier for this Goon Squad team. But given the fact that Missing Ping Mafia were already on the bottom side, I do kind of understand that objective call. As now Goon Squad 5-man strong in the mid lane, rotating over towards this top. Walladola needs to be a little bit careful here. Does not have nearly as much mana as you might want, but did manage to push the wave out, and that is going to make things difficult for the side of Goon Squad. Their waves are desynced. Their bot wave is really far away. So is their mid wave. And Missing Ping Mafia have some time to defend this mid lane turret. Even with the Baron minions, it's going to take a lot of time for them to crack this final inhibitor turret. Missing Ping Mafia doing their best. Killer Watermelon, though, flashing onto EDD. Jay is going onto him. Low Life Feels turning off the turret, and EDD will just disappear. Killer Watermelon, the next to fall. Torres putting on a decent amount of damage, but Low Life Feels flashing onto the Misfortune. Carson not able to connect the chains, but does go strong onto a Walladola, who responds in kind. A 1-for-1 for both of these teams, but Goon Squad is very low, and if they overpressure onto these inhibitor or these Nexus turrets, it could be a little bit rough. Goonmaster, though, very, very aggressive onto Torres, does manage to complete the kill. Also pops the passive of the Anivia. Carson doing his best to kill the Anivia off before it goes down, but Low Life Feels is just ending the game and will manage to do so successfully. Goon Squad evening this game up. All right, welcome back for game number 3 of Goon Squad versus Missing Ping Mafia. Goon Squad going to be continuing on the blue side. Missing Ping Mafia electing to take the red side again after that game. And it looks like we're going to get pretty much the same picks and bans, or excuse me, not the same picks, but definitely the same bans as we have gotten before. A Darius, a Rengar coming out for the side of Goon Squad. Missing Pink Mafia, though, a little bit more focus on this bottom side here is the Yunaro changeup. In this third game, they have elected to take away as many picks from Goon Master as possible. Tyler, well known for his hyper carries. And this should be a very good decision from them. That being said, we are about to find out whether Goon Squad does keep their same bans for this final first round ban. And they are hovering. The Lissandra will lock it in, so it will remain the same from the side of Goon Squad. Missing Pink Mafia banning 3 ADCs. A Nocturne going to be the first pick from the side of Goon Squad. Now, I do not like this at all. I do not like this decision. Nocturne is definitely not a super strong jungler right now. With the correct communication from a team, Nocturne is very counterable. Once he turns off the lights, you can talk to your team. You know exactly where he's headed. Also, very easy to invade. Jarvan, though, going to be the response from the side of Missing Pink Mafia, and we'll have to see how this first pick Nocturne works out for them. Honestly, with the amount of pressure from Missing Pink Mafia's bans, I really would have first picked an ADC, but I don't know. It's a decision. It's not one I agree with, but it is a decision. Missing Pink Mafia, though, going to finish up their second pick for this pick phase. It is a Caitlyn. And I really like this from Missing Pink Mafia. They have created a lot of pressure and are early picking the lane that they create pressure for. We'll see if Goon Squad elects to pick an ADC here. Not a lot of hyper carries left, and not a lot of carries that Goon Squad does play, but they will pick up the Vladimir, which has been banned in both previous games by Goon Squad. So good identification from their side to pick up something that has been banned and something that could cause a lot of trouble. Vladimir, very difficult to play around if you are putting him ahead or if you are put behind. We'll see what Goon Squad elects to pick up for their final pick of this first pick phase. And it will be the Kaisa. Hubbard and finally locked in for the side of Goon Squad. Also another champion that Tyler is known for. So this ADC could still cause problems for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. We need to see. Caitlyn usually does pretty well into Kaisa. Is able to outrange her by quite a bit. They really need to pair it with a strong support. And Rel would be one of those supports. A very, very strong laner. The late switch to the Leona, though, and I do kind of like this. Leona, definitely a decent amount of range, a decent amount of engage, and really with this team, with Jarvan Leona, a lot of engage coming out for the side of Missing Pink Mafia already. They really want to be able to pile on to this Goon Squad side. Of course, Nocturne also has a decent amount of engage. Vladimir is a very difficult target to pin down, and Kaisa also kind of difficult, can ultimate out of that Cataclysm. So we'll have to see how Missing Pink Mafia plays it, if they are able to get out some of those essential summoner spells and ultimates before they complete their engage. Goon Squad, keeping their original bans, do elect to ban the brand. For the side of Missing Pink Mafia, though, Mbessa and Thresh coming out as the final two bans. We'll see what Goon Squad finishes this ban phase up with. And this will be the final ban of the night. Couple more seconds left for this Goon Squad to complete their bans. And it will be the Akshan. Okay. I don't consider Akshan a very good laner right now. You really need to do a whole lot to make him viable, but If that's what they want to go with, then all right, I suppose. For the side of Missing Pink Mafia, though, they are going to have to figure out who they want to blind pick for. Will it be their top laner or their mid laner? It should be their mid laner since Vladimir has been shown, and indeed it will be. The Ahri coming out for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They will give counter pick over to their top lane, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of hovers coming out from the Goon squad here. Poppy going to be the lock-in, and that could be Poppy support. It could be Poppy top. We'll find out here in a moment. But a lot of counter engage for this Goon squad. So will be very interesting to see if Jarvan is able to turn off the lights. Will the rest of Missing Pink Mafia, or sorry, if Nocturne is able to turn off the lights, will the rest of Missing Pink Mafia be able to follow up? Malphite, the pickup here for Goon squad, and since Silas is out of the game, that is a completely free Malphite likely going into this top lane. Poppy likely going into support with the Kai'Sa, and that would make things very difficult for this Leona. Of course, Steadfast Presence does have a decently long cooldown, but still not too long, and Leona definitely will not have nearly as much of a fun time. Of course, if she takes Hex Flash, could make it a little bit more annoying, but Mord going to come out for the side of Missing Pink Mafia, and I think this is a really good pickup. I'm not entirely sure how the Mord into Malphite matchup works, but I would have to imagine it cannot. All right, welcome back for the final game. Goon Squad versus Missing Pink Mafia. Who is going to take it all? This is the best of one between these teams at this point. And a good early ward from Killer Watermelon, not wanting to suffer the same fate again. Will be some vision on his Raptors, so they will be able to track him out. We'll see if they go for this invade once more. Waladola getting some very good early damage onto this Vladimir, but does have it all to do. Vladimir, very good early regen, better than Ahri. Ahri definitely having some sustain of her own, but requiring a little bit more effort than Carson. If you are just now joining us for this game number 3 and are confused about the mid laner, it is still Carson playing on a different account as his primary account was banned, likely for toxicity, though that is just a speculation and the opinion of one caster. It does not represent the official TLS statement. Anyway, we'll see what kind of moves are made here. Looks like on the top side, Low Life Fields and Francis still battling it out. Been back and forth this entire night. Jay making his way down towards the bottom side, and Waladola once again walking over. If Carson is not calling this out right now, this is very bad for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. But Waladola actually electing to go down to this bottom lane, does catch out Flame Dude, and EDD flashing forward onto him. He is going to shove Waladola into the wall, but it just does not matter. Goonmaster, the next target. Flash forward from Torres, but he is now very low and does have to be careful. Well, Killer Watermelon, though, needs to be careful of these traps. Does manage to get the kill back onto Torres, but switching it up. Very good from the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Unfortunately, slightly down on that trade, but a very intelligent look. You can't do the same thing 3 games in a row and expect it to have the same results, and so they do something different. Waladola getting that early first kill onto Goonmaster means that he's going to be set a little bit behind on this Kai'Sa, and that's exactly what you want to see. Very good moves from this Missing Pink Mafia team. I am going to say they really need to be careful. In fact, the entire Surge League really needs to be careful of this Missing Pink Mafia team. They had some struggles in the beginning, lost their mid laner, and seem to have come back better than ever. Low Life feels, though, not having fun in this top lane at all. Is basically out of mana. Is now down about half the CS that his lane opponent has. And we'll see how this ends up playing out. Torres, using most of his range on the Caitlyn, is able to poke out Goon Master a little bit, but really not playing aggressively in this lane. Kind of waiting for a Walladola to hit 6 and come on down. Carson, though, doing a decent job of making this matchup not too difficult for his side. Killer Watermelon is up here on the top side, does get spotted out by a ward, which he will clear. On the top side, though, Francis has bullied Low Life Feels completely out of this lane. Will need to back and teleport back into his lane. Carson, though, taking a lot of damage in this matchup, will have a decent amount of sustain, but does need to be careful. Walladola, though, could be in a bit of trouble as Killer Watermelon is here. Does not have that level 6 quite yet. Both mid laners now level 6. Is Walladola a little bit behind after the bot lane roam. Oh, but Killer Watermelon is here. Forces the ultimate out of a Walladola. The ultimate coming out of the Vlad as well, but shut down onto Caitlyn. The rest of a Walladola's team coming through, showing up on these picks, and Killer Watermelon going to have to give up the Drake as well. And going to be a little bit frustrating, but it seems like whoever has taken the first Drake in this game has had a decent advantage. So we'll see if Missing Ping Mafia are able to make this happen. Is this a good omen for them? For the top lane, it definitely feels like a good omen as Francis still bullying Low Life Feels up on this top side. Because Low Life Feels is pretty much pressed underneath his turret the entire time, though, will be a little bit difficult for Francis to ultimate. Walladola, though, sniffing around this top side, seeing if there's anything he can get. Nocturne is now level 6. I have to see what he can make happen, but if he goes topside, it isn't going to be great. Francis still having that ultimate can completely isolate the fight. On this bottom side, though, pretty even in terms of farm. A little bit of a gold advantage with those 2 extra kills, or with the 1 extra kill on the side of the Caitlyn. The Killer Watermelon now down here on this bottom side, and if EDD goes in, Flame Dude is baiting him. Oh, misses the slam against the wall. Goon Master, though, going forward as Nocturne turns up the lights, and Walladola is now down here, going to make things interesting as Flame Dude dies to a Walladola. Killer Watermelon not far behind, dies to Torres. And Goon Master has to book it for his life. A 2 for 0 on that top side, and now Goon Master in a bit of trouble. There's Walladola looking to prevent this recall. Torres still has the ultimate. Any more damage, and Goon Master could be in trouble. Walladola trying to make something happen here, but Carson is walking down. Walladola now the one in trouble and will lose his life. A little too greedy from the Missing Pink Mafia mid laner. But I think right now, if you are the side of Goon Squad, you are a little upset with your mid laner. This one has been a little bit of a mid lane diff. Carson not able to keep up in that mid lane hands diff. Jay has been giving a little bit of help to his mid laner, but for the most part, it has been a 1v1. Even with Killer Watermelon trying to sniff around that mid lane. But after being put down twice in those early matches by good roams from Waladola, just not able to make things happen. Francis now going aggressive onto low life heals. Does do a lot of damage and does have that Rhylize early. A fight now breaking out around these grubs and the lights go off. Waladola not able to press the ultimate. The ult coming out from EDD. But Carson making things difficult. Francis standing in the middle of multiple people, though, is going to be very happy. A double kill coming out for the side of Killer Watermelon, but two members very low, and one of them will be collected. Jay now also in a bit of a tough spot. Killer Watermelon trying to get the kill onto Francis. Will opt to back out, is currently going. Has to run. Will go into that pool, and now Goonmaster is here. Francis using the ultimate. Oh, does manage to get the kill, and now is on a rampage. Killer Watermelon, though, able to collect that final kill. But Torres is going to be very happy to collect some plates down here on the bottom. As this second Drake will spawn now. And Missing Pink Mafia not doing too bad on objectives here. Did manage to pick up 2 of those grubs in that fight, even though they lost the fight afterwards. Still doing a good job of collecting these objectives, having their entire team there on time, finding the prio in their lanes. And this is starting to shape up a little bit more like game 1. So, if you are the side of Goon Squad, you have to be a little bit careful about how you play this game. Killer Watermelon, though, down here on the bottom side, going to try to make something happen. But Missing Pink Mafia seem to know that he's there. And will play carefully. Jay down here to protect his laners. Carson, though, going to take a lot of damage from this Ahri and the turret. Ahri is down a level, but does have that first item completed. Carson electing for an interesting first item. Ahri going more of the standard build. Ooh, will get hit by the charm. Will elect to use his own ultimate, though. Jay is not far behind. And just using the pool. Oh, no. Wait. Ooh, very close. So Waladola almost losing his life there. But the flash coming out, or the, the ultimate coming out from Jay does collect that Vladimir. And this mid lane is really looking like a hands diff. Killer Watermelon, though, trying to go for this top lane scuttle. Will manage to collect it. Stealing it away in Jay's face. 2 for 2 with both top lane and jungle. May slightly favor the side of Missing Pink Mafia, but they elect not to continue that fight. Leads for both the top lane and the bottom lane for Missing Pink Mafia. Mid lane a little bit more even. Jungle slightly favored towards Goon Squad. The lights will go out on this top lane, and they're looking to make it a little more even up there. Ooh, the fear coming out onto the Mordekaiser just means that he is dead. Walladola stealing away a little bit of farm from his laners. Not able to find a gank on that bottom side. Top lane going to be evened up a little bit. As Jay will go up there to collect that wave. Mordekaiser electing to use the teleport though to get back out to his lane. And some of these moves from Ahri not netting exactly the results that they wanted to see. Flame Dude getting stunned up here. Does take a decent chunk of health and will be stunned by the Leona ultimate. Torres with the critical headshot will manage to get the kill. Goonmaster now having to use the cleanse. Francis picking up that top lane kill. Now a flash away from Francis is killing Watermelon, going really aggressive, but Jay is now down here to make a difference in this fight. Walladola close behind. Goonmaster will go down to EDD. Killer Watermelon trying his best to get another kill back for his team, but unfortunately just will not be able to do so. Oh no, Vladimir now finding himself in a very difficult position. Will be charmed up. Will have to flash away from a Walladola. Does do a decent amount of damage back and will get that ultimate off. The healing coming in clutch for this Vladimir means that he will survive. And Jay not being able to get the knock up there means it's going to be a little bit rough. Once again, a very back and forth game. Both sides relatively even, about a 1k gold lead for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. As Jay is doing his blue buff currently, while his Mordekaiser does the Rift Herald and will manage to pick it up successfully. They will want to focus on this bottom side though, as Drake coming up in a few minutes. Oh no, Torres, you cannot be there. EDD trying to save his laner with the ultimate just will not work out, and they may have to get with this Drake. Walladola though, very strong at this moment in time. But it looks like they are just electing to give this up as a lot of vision for the side. Oh, maybe not. Turning off the lights, though, will be the Nocturne. Will go on to EDD. And the rest of his team is a little far away. Low Life Fields is also here. Walladola needs to be very careful. If he gets caught by this Malphite, it could be a bit rough. Will choose to use the ultimate now, and Walladola, the steadfast presence preventing him from going anywhere. He will fall. Oh, a good claw back. And Jay finding the kill. Grandmaster getting that mid turret, but Low Life Fields is now in a bit of trouble. Will get trapped in the Cataclysm and will fall as well. A 2-for-1 in favor of Missing Pink Mafia, but you really do not want to be losing a Walladola right now. You need that Ahri to play a little bit smarter. And really from the side of Flame Dude, very intelligent usage of the Steadfast Presence has been making life difficult for those dashing champions. Speaking of making life difficult, Killer Watermelon making life difficult for Francis. Does have 2 items and does do quite a bit of damage. That ultimate also coming up very, very quickly. Going to be a little bit frustrating from the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They're going to have to find some of these angles. Goon squad doing a very good job of keeping themselves relevant in this game. Walladola, though, now down here with Jay, will find the charm. And no pool coming out from the Vladimir just yet. Does use the hemorrhage, but it might be a little bit too late. He is trying to heal up doing a bunch of damage to both of these champions, but unfortunately just not enough healing. Will go down. Did not use the pool at the correct time. Will lose his life for it. Killer Watermelon, though, does manage to steal away the red buff. May look to Francis on this top side. Going very aggressive into low life heals. Will use the ultimate. The ultimate also coming out from the Malphite. The fear for Francis does not use the shield, and low life heals. Working together with his jungler will manage to collect another kill. 9-3-3 on this Nocturne. Waldola now in a bit of trouble, will flee, but Jay is here as well. Oh, Goonmaster over the top, but the Cataclysm means that he is trapped there, and Waldola is just going to run away. Jay falling there, trading jungler for jungler, but Goon Squad will have the slight advantage. All I feel is now needs to walk away from this fight. Flame Dude, though, getting chased down by this Poppy, who will use both summoners in an attempt to run. Low Life Feels cancels the ultimate and uses the flash to get away from EDD. Unfortunately, Torres with the good combos. Goonmaster using that cleanse just slightly too early. Does do a lot of damage to EDD, but will lose his life. Will trade it for the Leona. Oh, Carson needing to run for his life. He uses the ghost, but not able to do so. Torres also needing to run for his life. Will not be able to do so. Kills collected on both sides of the map here. This game is every bit as bloody as we promised. To almost pretty much 2 kills per minute at this point in the game, and both teams absolutely dead even. All right, we'll see if Francis gets his driver's license. Is drifting pretty well. Might just make it to this mid lane turret, and indeed he does. Collecting both of the remaining outers with that Rift Herald. Now turning it around. Where's he headed? Is he going to try to hit this bottom lane? Oh, he's just causing a bunch of mayhem, going around in circles. He is in a little bit of trouble now, though. He does have his support. And Killer Watermelon trying to do as much damage as he can. Will manage to turn out the lights. Oh, what a good Malphite ulti as Goonmaster now getting jumped on in the Cataclysm. Will get charmed up by Walladola. Low Life Feels may be the next to fall. He will indeed, but not before Walladola also falls. Jay now running for his life. And Missing Pink Mafia slightly ahead. Will manage to take that next Drake, as it will be the Hextech Soul. And that will put them on Soul Point. A 4 for 3 in favor of Missing Pink Mafia. Carson being the only remaining member of his team left alive, and will try to push in that mid lane, get a little bit of damage, or sorry, a little bit of vision around this Baron. But Goonmaster using that ultimate just a little bit too early does get cataclysmed, and that will be very rough for the side of Goon Squad. Things will calm down a little bit. Both teams starting to posture around this Baron, trying to get as much vision as they can. The lights will go out. Awaladola being selected as the target, but will ultimate out because Flame Dude is not quite there. Flame Dude does manage to find the stun onto Jay, but unfortunately, the rest of his team is just not behind him. Awaladola getting the reset on that Ahri will find an additional kill onto the jungler, and that means the big purple worm is most likely Missing Pink Mafia's 5 members alive and still incredibly healthy. Walladola, though, electing to recall for some reason. We'll start heading towards that bottom side. And Missing Pink Mafia not able to take this Baron super quickly, but the rest of Goon Squad not electing to contest means that they will take it. Goon Master now in a bit of trouble here. Does do a lot of damage to Waldo, though. Gets the ultimate off and does manage to take down the Ahri. Waldo a little too aggressive, but Goon Master now in a bit of a rough position. Jay is hunting him down. He will try to execute here, but Francis manages to get the ignite off. And Goon Master will not be able to get that execute off. Carson now going aggressive onto Jay. Does manage to get the shutdown, but EDD stunning him up. Trying to get the rest of his team involved here. Nocturne now over the top. Selects Torres as his target. And that is most of Missing Pink Mafia just off the map. No more Barons for 4 members of this team. But Francis still incredibly tanky. Does manage to take Flame Dude down. But without that ultimate, he's a little bit vulnerable here. Does have to be careful. Only member remaining with Baron does not want to go down. Killer Watermelon, though, going to be sniffed out by a Walladola. Does he choose to use this ultimate? He does not. And even with Baron gone, this game is still dead even. Once again, we are going to need to find some breakout moment for both of these teams. Both teams now. No neutral objectives to fight for. Drake coming up in a minute and a half, and Goon Squad is going to need to fight for this Drake. They do not want to give that soul over to the side of Missing Pink Mafia. That would almost certainly spell doom for them. I'm definitely going to be interested to see how the damage stacks up. Francis leading with 29k damage. Killer Watermelon not that far behind, but a Walladola also pretty close. Carson, Killer Watermelon going in and finding the last remaining member wearing purple is EDD, getting a lot of damage. And oh, what a good ultimate from Low Life Fields. The follow-up from Goon Master, but EDD jumps straight on him. A Walladola surviving for now. Torres also in a lot of trouble as that hemorrhage is going to do a lot of damage. And Goon Squad have started to find their footing in this game. A very good team fight, and they will be able to retreat towards this Drake. 20 seconds left on the spawn. And a little bit of a breakout moment for the side of Goon Squad. 4 members alive on the side of Missing Pink Mafia do not want to elect to take this Drake fight. And this will not put Goon Squad on Soul Point, but it will put them 1 dragon closer. Very good not to give up this second dragon. We even it up. Sorry, Goon Squad's still 1 streak behind, so will be a little bit rough. But this Vladimir is starting to scale, and this game is going to get a little bit more scary for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. So we need to see how they pull this team comp off. If they continue to find some of these picks, it will be really good for them. But good itemization from the Ahri as well. Did have the Seeker's Arm Guard to be able to survive in that fight. Both teams, though, starting to set up around this Baron. Coming up in a minute. A lot of early vision being taken for the side of Goon Squad. Francis trying to sniff out some of these players. Ooh, almost from ED going on to Flame Dude. As now, Missing Pink Mafia pushing out this mid lane. Low Life Feels trying to push in the bottom lane, create some pressure for his team. Does have teleport to be able to get into these team fights. But Missing Pink Mafia electing to play mostly together. Will have the Ahri on the top side, but Flame Dude is coming around onto a Walladola. Will use the ultimate to knock him up and make him stick. Will not quite be able to do enough damage as Jay is now up here. The hemorrhage coming out onto Jay. But EDD finding a stun. Oh, Carson going a little bit too far. And Torres picking off Flame Dude. Carson the next to fall as Low Life Feels does teleport in. Some low health bars on this Goon Squad Sky. But Francis trying to sniff out the rest of the remaining members. Low Life Feels going in onto Torres. Goon Master doing as much damage as he can to it. But oh my goodness. The damage coming out from that Caitlyn means that Francis will be able to take that kill. Low Life Feels running for his life. Jay preventing him from doing so. And the charm and the slow coming out from Francis means that it will be a 4-for-1 in the favor of Missing Pink Mafia. They are going to rotate over to this Purple Worm. And Nocturne, the only remaining member for the side of Goon Squad, does not have any vision here. Will have difficulty trying to get into this Baron fight. EDD trying to figure out where he's at, trying to prevent that Nocturne from turning off those lights. It is going to be a Baron take for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. And the game will even right back up. This game, back and forth for both of these teams. A minute and a half on this next Drake, and that will have to be where Goon Squad makes their stand. They cannot... I mean, it was a good look. It was a really good look onto the Ahri from the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Unfortunately, just not able to complete that kill. While Adola was able to come back and make a difference in that fight. And now, has that Zanya's completed, will be that much harder to kill. But let's take a look at the gold, because this has been really back and forth, and we can see Missing Pink Mafia having a decent lead in the early game, then kind of throwing it a little bit, bringing the game back to even, then coming back, taking another gold lead before Goon Squad managing to take a gold lead of their own. Now Missing Pink Mafia starting to take that gold lead back. We are about to have a team fight, though, around this next Drake, which is spawning in 20 seconds. Good early vision setup from the side of Goon Squad, but 5 men walking together for the side of Missing Pink Mafia, and they are taking a lot of space. If Killer Watermelon cannot find the right target, he's looking, does go in on Francis, but not able to find it. Flame Dude and Low Life Feels just too far away. Goon Master looking for the Ahri, does manage to take down one member, but slapping, not even really with the wall, it's just with the better hands. 3 people dead on the side of Goon Squad. Make that 4. Carson, the final remaining member. And that team fight was not what you wanted to see from Goon Squad. Way too split, as now 3 members of Missing Pink Mafia marching it down in this mid lane, wearing purple still. As Jay collecting that final Drake, giving them the soul. Oh, Carson, that is not where you want to be. Vladimir will fall. The mid inhibitor turret will go down. Not electing to take this mid inhibitor, as well as Flame Dude will respawn. And it looks like Missing Pink Mafia are going to elect to try and take this top lane as well. 4.5k gold, the breakout finally for Missing Pink Mafia. As these team fights just not going in the favor of Goon Squad. The lights going out. Nocturne trying to chase down Francis, but just will not manage to find him. Stepping out of vision before that ultimate could connect. Definitely a little bit of frustration coming out for the side of Goon Squad. Not able to survive for nearly long enough. And I really think that Goon Master needs to wait a little bit longer. He's doing a good job before of waiting for that Malphite to use his ultimate before he goes in over the top. But these last couple of fights, just not able to find the right moment to use that Kai'Sa ultimate, will get fully CC'd. And Francis very strong on this Mordekaiser, makes it difficult. Once he goes in, he cannot get out. Oh, Walladola though, getting found by multiple members of Goon Squad, will elect to use the Zhonya's here. But unfortunately will get stunned up by Flame Dude. A good pick for the side of Goon Squad, but they need to get back to their base as soon as possible. More members pushing down this mid lane will rotate over to the top. No more Baron for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. And they are just going to elect to recall. 2 minutes remaining on that next Baron. 4 minutes going to be remaining for the Elder Dragon. Very rough right now if you are Goon Squad. With that Hextech Soul, it is going to be that much harder to fight these team fights as, oh, 3 men on the top side, make it 4 as Low Life feels not far behind. Can he get there in time? Torres stunned up, is feared, and Low Life feels will miss the ultimate, but it will not matter. Torres does go down, but multiple members here taking a lot of damage from this turret, and the rest of Missing Pink Mafia is here. Low Life feels going to be the sacrificial lamb for the side of Goon Squad. One answered back. Goon Squad doing a good job of finding these picks though. Finding the vulnerable members for the side, or on the side of Missing Pink Mafia. And doing so before the rest of their team can respond. "30 seconds left on this Baron, and the full squad will be available for both teams. Killer Watermelon with that Guardian Angel will make him a little bit harder to kill. Does mean he can do a little bit more damage. A good vision setup coming out for this Goon Squad early on this objective. They've been doing really good of getting to this objective first, being able to set up vision, but hasn't mattered as much in these team fights, and it's been a little bit disappointing to see. So now both teams posturing around, clearing out the vision that the other has placed. And I don't think that Goon Squad knew that there were only 4 members there. If they did, they might have elected to go for that fight before Walladola could get there. Ari now here for this fight makes things a little bit more difficult for their side. A lot of posturing going on though, and Low Life feels not quite at the fight just yet. Killer Watermelon trying to sit on the edge, looking for the correct member, waiting for Low Life. And I think if Malphite goes in, you just have multiple members ult over the top, and we'll see how that goes. The other thing that I haven't really seen is I haven't seen Flame Dude kick somebody out of this fight. Make things a little bit more difficult. He is going to try to do it now. Will manage to get Francis, and that will be the trigger. Killer Watermelon going on to Jay, but Jay is already back to the rest of his team. Flame Dude trying to find some kind of stun, but Walladola managing to get out, and now Flame Dude, Low Life feels, and currently Gooning in the middle of the Cataclysm. Very, very low members on all of these teams. The 2 picked up for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Flame Dude will manage to escape with his life. Walladola doing the same. Neither team electing to go for this Baron just yet, but Elder Drake will be spawning in 30 seconds, and that is where Missing Pink Mafia elect to put their focus. Killer Watermelon does still have that Guardian Angel. Because both teams setting up their vision, moving out towards this Elder Dragon. Whichever team picks this up will win the next team fight. Oh no, Flame Dude, you cannot be there. He walks in by himself trying to set up vision. A final slam from the hammer will signal the end of this fight. Missing Pink Mafia on this Elder Drake does kill a Watermelon attempt to contest. Does not look like it is Goon Master walking over towards the Baron. But Missing Pink Mafia will know about this, and they're already sending members up towards the top. Goon Master walking away from this Baron. Missing Pink Mafia in a really strong position, looking for this Baron now. And it looks like no contest from the side of Goon Squad. They are just going to let both of these neutrals go. I really want to see Awaladola start pushing some of these waves because they really need to get this in. No inhibitor taken for either team just yet. We call for several members on the side of Missing Pink Mafia. Now they are going to run down mid. And if you are Goon Squad, this is where you really need to try and survive. Multiple members with Baron, with Elder. GA on Torres, going to make him very difficult to kill. Ari, the same with that Zanya's. And a 5k gold lead coming out for this team. This one has been back and forth, but right now, Missing Pink Mafia in a commanding position. 40-minute game has made this one very rough. As Francis now teleports in, will try to help out his team. 2 members with GAs on the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They are going to crack this middle inhibitor. Only 1 on the jungle of Goon Squad. A good ultimate coming out, and a good ultimate from Lowlife Feels signals that they want to go in on Torres, but he does have that GA, as now the rest of the team is here. A shutdown coming out for the Vladimir. Currently Gooning is in that death realm though, and will die to, oh, gonna be very close. Yep, will die to Francis. 2 members down. 3 members down for the side of Goon Squad. Killer Watermelon will take out Awaladola, but he has 3 people to try and kill and no turrets to help him out. No GA to help him out either. They're just going to completely destroy him and then destroy his Nexus. A GG for the side of Missing Pink Mafia. They will take the final game.